Okay, let's get into this island thing, shall we? This is why I have an India flag in my PowerPoint, because this is all India. This was my thumbnail. This is North Sentinel Island. Beautiful island, actually. This is one of the few places in the world where there is an uncontacted tribe that is at the kind of Neolithic level. They're at the level of like Bronze Age here, something like that, and they're undeveloped. And every person who's come to this island to visit them has been repelled by force. So this uncontacted tribe will like shoot arrows at people. And this has gone back in the day when the British landed there in the 1890s or 1880s, something like that. They were firing at them, shooting arrows at them, the Dutch, etc. There was a National Geographic group that went to film them, and they actually got repelled as well by violence. When other tribes people come here, they're attacked. So they don't really care who you are, what color you are, whatever. They attack all outsiders. And there was a missionary that came here, and he was actually killed. So what happened was there was a nuisance streamer, an American YouTuber by the name of Mikhail Viktorovich Polyakov of Scottsdale. I don't know his exact YouTube channel, but he was a YouTuber, and he was doing this for the content, right? So this was 100% a person who was attempting to nuisance stream. Anyways, he tried to visit this island, leaving a Diet Coke and a coconut in an attempt to make contact with this tribe. He was arrested 2 days after he set foot on the island, which is part of India's Andaman and Nicobar Islands. And let me show you guys where this island is. It's actually really close to me here in Thailand. It's actually closer to Thailand than it is to India itself. Let me pull up the little map here. It is like in the Andaman Sea, which is just west of Thailand. If you've ever been to Phuket, you can kind of look out in that direction. That's the sea you're kind of facing. So let me pull this up here so you guys get a little geography. I like maps. I'm kind of maptistic that way. So you can see here, here's me. Here's over here. I'm hanging out in Bangkok. And then you've got over here, the Andaman Sea. So you got Phuket right here, over here. And then you've got the Andaman Sea. This is actually owned by India. So India actually owns these islands. And that goes back to the time in which, in case you guys don't know, little history lesson, there was India, kind of had a mandate over all these territories. There was Pakistan and Bangladesh were all part of it. And then they broke away. Pakistan broke away, and Bangladesh was considered like East Pakistan. But then there was a war, and then India kind of intervened, and they kind of took control of that stuff. So they've got sovereignty here. North Sentinel Island is the one that you cannot go to. And you can see the tribesmen there in the photo. You are not supposed to go there at all, ever. You can visit some of these other islands. So you can visit like South Andaman and some of these other islands you can visit. You see there's a road here. So you can come here. So what he did was he went to this big island, and he bribed a fisherman to come close, right, to that island. And that's a big no-no. So you are not supposed to go there. So what did they do to this nuisance streamer? Well, they punished him. They sentenced him to 14 days in judicial custody, and he will appear before the court April 17th. The charges carry a sentence of up to 5 years in prison and a fine. So I am all for giving these guys 5 years. Sounds great. Give them 6 months, give them a year at least. I am all for that, because people need to know that, look, if these things are illegal, if you're told, hey, you cannot go there, you're not supposed to, mess with this, you should not go there. You should not mess with it. You should not make content out of it. It says right here, inhabitants use spears, bows, and arrows to hunt animals that roam on the small, heavily forested island. Deeply suspicious of outsiders, they attack anyone who lands on their beaches. Now, this is the part I wanted to comment on. And this is the part that I want to give a little caveat to. So people inform the State Department, and the State Department says the department has no higher priority than the safety and security of U.S. citizens abroad, a State Department spokesman said. We are aware of reports of the detention of a U.S. citizen in India. We take our commitment to assist U.S. citizens abroad seriously and are monitoring the situation. This is not a comment that they're going to get him out of jail for free. This just says, hey, we're looking at it. We know about it, but we're monitoring it, does not mean they're going to save the guy. In fact, they probably, if anything, just gave him a list of local lawyers. That's what I've said they always do. They'll give you a list of local lawyers, and that's about it. They are not there to bail you out of jail. They're not to get out of jail free card. They're not going to bargain for you. They're not going to make a deal with India to return some Indian gangster for some YouTuber. That's not going to happen. They had to make the statement because they were asked a question, but that is a nothing burger statement, right? Of course, they have to say they have priority for U.S. citizens. Of course, they're going to say that, right? That's like a corporate statement that means nothing. Like, oh, we support all people, right? A corporate statement means nothing, right? Same thing with this. We support U.S. citizens. Yeah, of course you do. Right. But how do you do that? You don't do it by getting them out of jail for free. So he is not going to get any rescue. I would not count on that at all.